This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Well, welcome back, everybody. I've said it. I'm going to say it again. I'll say it again and again. We all have to heal. We have things that hold us back, feeling a certain way, not really sure what's going on there. We have to heal. And most of that goes or is connected to our past and or our childhood. But how does that healing work? And when you work with someone, what does she do? I found her. We're going to experience a day in the life of Soul Woman. This is the woman that connects with your spirituality, works with your energy, so many different modalities. And part of this today, I feel, is going to be back to the basics of how we heal. But then we're going to go even on a deeper dive in terms of what she's doing and what she experiences and what others experience when they work with her as the owner and teacher and amazing author, by the way, of a couple of fantastic books with a lot of insight. And I love talking with her. I have these epiphanies every time we get together. Barbara Ann Strassman is with us again. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Steve. And it's nice that you use the word epiphanies, because that's what we're talking about today, is the changing of energy, a new awareness, an aha. And so we actually produce that right here, as you say, every time that we're talking. So that's great.
It is really, in my mind, amazing once you start doing this work where you put things through a different lens, like your life in general. Like you ask for answers and yourself gives you the answers. You know, a lot of times we're conflicted. I'm not really sure if I should do this, I should do that. Even right down to the basic level, what should I do later? What should I have for dinner? You know, that's really basic. But even for the harder answers, once you start doing this stuff, it's almost as if the clutter goes away and the answer comes to you. And you know it's the answer. And that's just a piece of what happens when somebody does this work or works with you, right?
Right. Because we always say the answers are within. But in the healing work and some of the examples I wanted to share today, it proves that our body on a cellular level and energetic level holds the answers. So I have an example. I mean, my life is so exciting. When I work with people every day, you don't know what's going to happen, right? I work with somebody's energy field. I tap into it, but I don't know ahead of time the end result. But your body knows. So as I explain to people, all I am doing is I'm tapping into your information field, all the energies held. So a few examples. So this week I had somebody come in very healthy, very attuned, spiritual, and she's having some difficulties in her right leg, some nerve difficulties. So we go back and we explore what happened, prior to that event. But what happened this week is this person, unconnected to anything else, had a thought that morning about something that happened years ago. So like 4 years ago, a memory came. Then she came to see me. As we're working with her energy body, I'm tapping into that leg, trying to connect the energies, connect the nerves. And she had the memory again of a mental emotional trauma, okay, where somebody tried to take away a business she owned, try to overpower her, try to make her feel, or she felt like she didn't know what she was doing. It was a clashing, if you will, of energies. It was an attack. It was a trauma. She had no idea that her body was still holding that trauma. And for whatever reason, the memory came in that morning, and then it came up on the table. She didn't even tell me about it, but her body started to move and to unwind. And oof, I can feel it now. And all those energies, we just disperse them. So we call it divine alchemy. changing lead into gold. We took that heavy energy that was restricting her leg and her feeling, and we were pulling it out of her tissue and her nervous system as she was letting go and recounting the event that traumatized her. Does that
So
make sense?
it does. And I'm full on aware of those things that we've dealt with and how it manifests within us, and we hold that energy and that tension and all of that. But my question here is for this person: why did it show up in the leg? Was there any connection there?
Well, so legs do what? They support us.
And help you move forward.
Exactly. And it happened to be the leg that represented the past. So that energy got imprinted. And I can't say exactly why it was in the leg, but it got imprinted. Probably goes back to something from childhood also. But that feeling of, I know better than you, you're a woman, you don't know what you're doing. And these are universal, archetypal energies too. So it was a man kind of implying that she doesn't know. And it's like, how do we as women stand up for ourselves and support ourselves? So was it that universal energy and that belief system? And she overcame it. I just got it here. She overcame it, but it still shows up in other areas of the life, right? Do we not feel respected by men? And it has played out in her life, but now she can let that go because it's giving us opportunities to see who we really are. So by the end of the session, she could see the power within herself. She could see the opportunities. And now she's fully stepping with both legs into who she really is and letting go of those beliefs about men versus women, whatever else she was raised with. So now she's standing fully grounded and connected in both ways. So to me, it's, excuse me, the legs, the feet, it's about moving us forward and balancing us as who we are in this world.
Can you give us some of those? I'm not even sure what to call them, Barbara, but when something challenges you, it's connected to something else. We talked about the leg and what that could represent, the male energy. I've often heard too that if you have challenges with your left side, typically connected to a female, some kind of conflict with a female. I don't know if you've heard that. And can you share any other things, like those little pieces of nuggets of information? Let's say if you're having problems with, the right side of your body, that could be, again, quotation marks under could be connected to this, whatever this is.
Right. So the body does have all sorts of representations. We've talked about Louise Hay. All you have to do is go to her books to see, like the shoulders represent carrying responsibilities. The weight of the world is on your body. And so we use those correlations, and it helps people to say, oh yeah, I am shouldering this, or I am, in this lady's case, did she not stand up for herself? The spinal column, your back, what does it do? It supports you, right? It's your support system.
Yep.
It connects above and below. So people who don't feel supported. So I had another woman this week, really sad, but the mother would say very, very negative things to her and indicate that she was a bad person. So she's had many injuries to her spinal column because she did not feel supported. Wow. She was literally abandoned in multiple ways. So that spine is like, again, how do you stand up? How do you support yourself? This is your life force. So when people have back problems of varying types, it's, are you not feeling supported? Are you not supporting yourself? This is your channel between heaven and earth. Do you not feel like you belong here on this earth? Right? This, the spinal column, the 33 vertebrae, that relates to the Christ consciousness. So it's doubting your whole purpose in life. So we can go on a physical level, metaphysical level. And when we do that, so we're changing the vibration as we do that from something that's purely physical and in this realm, and then we're taking it up, up, up to those higher realms. What does it mean spiritually? And that's the beauty, is I can help people connect on the extreme levels, the physical and the highly spiritual. So it's like that spinal column, that chain of events. We get to pull that energy out and look at it in different dimensions. And then people have that aha. They have that epiphany because they just never saw it on a different level. So that's what the healing's really about, the divine alchemy. It's changing the form. The pain is just a signal. It's a symbol. And where it is in your body, as you said, correlates to that. So sometimes we just start there. Like who or what is a pain in the neck? If you have neck pain. If you have sciatica, who or what's a pain in the tushy? What is that pain really about, and when does it show up? So it's easy, and that's why I thought giving examples.
Are there answers for everything?
Yes.
We may not have the answer. You might not be able to track it down. More times than not, it sounds like you do when somebody comes before you, as you go back in their lineage and their history. And I've shared this before. Briefly, I'm going to repeat it. But my mom had skin cancer that showed up on her neck. 6 years later, I'm dealing with the same exact thing on my neck. It's not that it manifests always on your neck. It could be anywhere on your body. Why there? Right. And I traced it in my mind back to the throat chakra.
Yep.
And speaking your mind. And there was a family situation about 10 years before-ish. She didn't speak her mind about it. I didn't either. We just kind of went with it. Why fight it? Whatever. I don't know. Maybe we should have spoke up. Maybe not. Whatever. I'm thoroughly convinced that is why we both wound up with skin cancer on our necks, because it was next to the throat chakra. So when you use the term divine alchemy, if I were to describe that to someone, what would I say in regular people terms?
It's transformation. So they call it changing. Saint Germain will say changing lead into gold. We are literally changing something from the physical pain and releasing that energy into a different form, if you will. So ice into water. We're taking it out of that physicality and raising its vibration. So in the case of the leg, we pulled that trauma that got deposited, it got imprinted into her nervous system, and we pulled that trauma out. So then the nerves could start functioning differently. They started making the connections to everything in her life, and it'll take time, it'll keep going, but it changed we're releasing the imprint, we're releasing the trauma. So like when cars collide, when they get fixed, they're taking away the impact, they're bringing it back into a different form, if you will. So does that make sense? So we're literally changing the energetic experience so that you can see the benefit. This trauma hit you, and this is why, but what did I learn about myself? What did I learn about the universe and energy? Because we're always impacted. The question is, does it get stuck in us?
Well, you've
Follow
made it
me, like your throat chakra. Why did it get stuck there? Why did you not speak your truth? Think about it. Why did you shove it down? Why did you block speaking your truth?
I would say in the situation, there was almost no fighting it. Like it's just
Mhm.
it was a family situation, and it was
Yep.
just, at that point, a prize fighter in the ring, you're like, we're down. Like it's just like, what difference is it going to make anyway?
Yep.
If it was spoken, it probably wouldn't have
Mhm.
made a difference because things had already transpired.
Yep.
But maybe it would have cleared energy to say, "Oh, really?" To those involved, just to release the energy, if you will.
And maybe because we say the definition of enlightenment is when to speak, when not to speak, and when to
Mm,
walk away. But as you just said that, I felt it go down into your heart chakra. So sometimes it's just that self-analysis. Maybe you didn't have to speak it, but you both choked it down. Okay. And your skin is your biggest organ. And the
point.
skin is about right being seen. So I would invite that maybe it didn't have to come into a cancer if you had the opportunity to look deeper into self and into past lives, past experiences, that you maybe didn't have to contract it and have that imprint come into you. But now we know it also went into your heart.
And there's reason for that too.
Yeah, obviously.
Certainly. Um, but in the end, it worked out. It could have worked out in a maybe more positive direction for me and my mom. But it was, but you know what? I take comfort in knowing that's why she got sick. That's why I got sick. There's just no, I don't even have a doubt. It's just clear. You said something before that I found very interesting. Use that woman as an example that had trouble with her leg. And as what I'm pulling from this is that the energy was stuck in her leg, preventing things from happening. You help remove the energy, so now the leg or body part or whatever can reconnect and operate the way it should. It's almost
Yeah.
as if a, lack of a better term, foreign invader in your body.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
It is an invasion. It's a trauma.
Mm.
And that's a good word, invasion. Something comes in that doesn't resonate, doesn't feel good, traumatizes us, upsets us, and it gets stuck there if we don't deal with it, if we don't release it and work through it. Right. So whether it's a germ, whether it's a physical attack, mental, emotional, it is an invasion. So that's awesome. So
Mm.
the invasion of the body snappers was or something,
Sna-
wasn't that a
yeah,
movie?
body snatchers. They were snatching bodies.
Snatchers,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I
So
mean,
I snatched that energy. I pulled that back out, right?
mm,
We pull it back out of you, literally. We can feel it. I actually, this is going to sound weird, but a woman the other day who had that negative energy from the mother, sometimes when there's like the mental diseases, bipolar, severe depression, right? Those energies, we got to pull them out because they're snatching your soul.
mm.
If somebody tells a child that they're worthless or they're a piece of whatever, that traumatizes your soul as well. So we've got the physical body, the mental, the emotional, the energetic, the spiritual. That soul can be traumatized, and we got to pull that out.
Mm.
We got to pull it out of your being so that you can see the light inside of you.
And you're
Right?
living
What is mental disease?
your
I'm
all your
sorry.
days. You're living all your days holding on to this negative energy that could have come from your childhood. And it's and that we're talking about the negative energy you're holding. Then there's the other part of it, what's in your subconscious. That's piloting you as well. So now you have, in my view here, there's two
Yeah.
separate things going on here, but all related and all holding you back. or challenging you?
It's all connected, right? Everything is interconnected. So if you're absorbing these beliefs as a child that I'm not a good person, I'm the devil, there's something wrong with me, that's an imprint that goes in on every single level. So even though you might know better, you keep getting these messages, there's something wrong with you.
Mm.
So that depletes your light beam. So again, to release those beliefs, to shift that consciousness, that's it's not something most people can do by themselves.
No, no. Like it. It's interesting when you start doing this and talking with people like you start realizing it, but that doesn't mean that you can eradicate yourself. What the challenge is, the energetic challenge.
Right, the energetic. And you can do a lot through meditation and spiritual development, but it's like I can literally feel it and see it and pull it off, which sounds weird, but right, the magnetic field, the chakras in our hands and our being, I can feel it. I can even do it with you right now because I know where stuff is. Just went back into your throat. I can pull it off. I can go in and start pulling that energy out. Now, somebody can resist or you can let it go.
Take it.
So I can
You can
actually,
have it.
but we disperse it. So that's the
Right.
divine alchemy. We pull it out and we let it goes back into that universe. But then you have the freedom and your ability to self-heal comes right back in. Right. So we re-empower you, we restart your ability to heal, right? Because we're clearing away all the garbage, all the junk. And as people like, that aha, like, oh my God, I can breathe again. So one example, will help your listeners. We talk about the backpack we carry. Everybody's got that stuff from the past on our backs.
The emotional backpack.
Right. And sometimes just suggesting that we can slide that off our shoulders and drop it. Just that suggestion. We can put it down. Just drop it off for a few moments. You don't need to carry it. And even as I said that, my chest opened up, my shoulders went back. You can just, I can feel the energy, and I think you can, just dropping it. Because when we let go of what we're carrying, then we can come back inside to what's truth.
You have to be ready to let it go.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm at the point. I'll drive to a bridge and throw it over the bridge. You go, take that thing. Yeah.
Or just even visualize it. It's that power. You can do it right now, right here. And if you want to visualize you're standing on the bridge doing it, that's awesome too. But that's the key. You can do anything anywhere.
Thank you for saying that, because I forget it, and maybe others do or not even aware. Because it's energy, you can use your mind to disconnect from certain things.
Mm-hmm.
That's the power of energy, and it's always moving. It never stops. So if you have that emotional backpack, you're carrying around some heavy stuff, visualize removing it.
Yep.
Do whatever you want with it. If it's even temporary, we can't. I think we're always going to be carrying one. It's the question is what do you got in it?
Right. And do you have the awareness that you're carrying it and knowing that in the moment you can make a new choice?
Exactly.
But yeah, because everything's that we do take on the energies, and women in general, they take on everybody's stuff, right? Because as mothers, we're supposed to take care of everybody. Again, a universal theme. And so for most mothers, it's on the shoulders and whatnot. We've got to drop it because we can't take on and actually do something for somebody else. We can assist you, but you need to go through your lessons. Everybody needs their process to learn and grow, just like they say Earth is a school. So it's our metaphysical, our spiritual school. We have to go through these experiences So the mother can't do it for you. And once I help the mothers realize they're not actually helping the other person by carrying it, then they help themselves let it go. And we teach you how to be there for somebody, how to send out the good energy, how to be positive, but not take on the other person's problems.
Which I've seen so many times with people in the medical profession, people I'm connected to, because they're empaths. Many went into that profession partly for that reason, and they take it on, every patient, and it just weighs them down, and they're just beat up at the end of the day, at the end of the week. Yeah.
Definitely. And you know how you can see that? So look, a lot of them, the first time I ever did a program for nurses, and this was 20 years ago, I was amazed. They were all overweight, because that's a sign of taking on everybody's stuff. They all had addictions to food and smoking and sometimes alcohol. They all had all this heavy energy, loving, wonderful people, but they were taking on all the patient's stuff, and they were not caring for themselves. That's it. We want to reverse that. We want to help them take care of themselves so they're even better for the other people.
Somebody said to me half a dozen years ago, when I was in a situation worrying about others and everything, and they said, hello, 2 words, save yourself. Save yourself. And at that time, it just sounded, what? What do you mean? What? Self-serving? No, you got to. We are out of time. This is very insightful today, as always. But I particularly love where you mentioned that we can do this, we can help ourselves. Just in the visual of letting that backpack go and all those other things. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to eradicate all that energy, that stuff that you've been holding, since the beginning of your time, but that's where you come in. But, we can make little tweaks along the way. What's the best way to connect with you, learn about your books and everything you do?
Okay. On my website, www.heartandsoulholistic.com. And email me. My email's there. My phone is there. So do reach out, because I'm happy to talk to people, explain the modalities. They're listed there, but the modalities and the books, and to find out about my classes, you have to sign up for my email list. So lots of ways to reach me, but I am accessible is the key. Reach out in whatever way is right for you.
We got so deep into this conversation today about divine alchemy that we didn't get to emails from some listeners. So I promise we'll do that next time. We really, I was like, oh my gosh, I looked at the clock. I'm like, oh, I forgot to do that. Instantfeedbacksteve@gmail.com. Also, if you'd like us to share some of your thoughts here, maybe some of your questions. Thank you, Barbara. I feel lighter. I really do. Just the visual of just releasing. Yeah, the backpack's got to go. Serves a purpose, but you got to be careful what you put in there. Love what you do. Love you. We'll talk soon, okay?
Okay, love you too. Thank you so much. Take care.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.